right, we're getting ready for a 12 points mini episode. This is March 23rd. I am Alex, and we're going to get started in just a few minutes. So log in, check us out. Let's get ready to have some fun. All right, so I got a funny joke for you to get us started. What do you call a carrot who likes to whistle? I don't know either. It can't whistle. All right, so we're going to get started with some news and notes from this last week. So first off, we have last weekend, we had our Appalachia Camporee. Great time. They had some fun doing some Indiana Jones themed activities. Lots of scouts there, lots of fun had, and I think someone earned something called the Peacock's Eye. You got to ask one of the troops there about that. Next, we have Pack 511. They submitted some pictures from their glow-in-the-dark Pinewood Derby. They set up some black lights. They had some fun with neon paints, and they had some fast cars streaking down that track. Next up, we have Pack 1217 submitting some pictures from this last month. They had a lot of fun with Sheriff Cabo coming out and doing a presentation to the kids of the pack, as well as getting to visit the local fire station with Gwinnett Fire, checking out the ambulance and the fire truck. How cool is that? And then they did a float project with recycled goods to see how best to build a boat. That's some really cool stuff. And we also had a Eagle Court of Honor this last weekend where Caleb and Landon from Troop 1597 got to have their recognition. They got to have a lot of fun with that. Congratulations, Caleb and Landon. Y'all deserve that Eagle. So if you want to be highlighted in our next mini episode or on our live stream, make sure you send pictures over to our Facebook page, NEGA-BSA. That way your unit can get its highlight. All right, now here's the fun stuff for today. We have 12 points, as we always do. Camp card sale, spring activities, Eagle Banquet, and we'll talk a little more about that. That one's a fun one. NEGA 90th anniversary. We get to have a lot of fun this year. So number 5, we have training in Northeast Georgia. Number 6, Go Sports Teams. 7, we have Summer of Cub Fun. Order of the Arrow is next, followed by Pathfinders, Camp Rainey Mountain, our summer squad, and then the best part, the spring camping tips and tricks. Let's get started. So everything in this episode is brought to you by Camp Cards 2025 sale. We want to make sure that every scout gets to go to camp, and the best way to do that is by selling camp cards. If you don't know what a camp card is, go talk to a scout in your pack or troop. They will gladly tell you and then sell you a camp card. All right, so in terms of spring activities, we are starting off with Spring Fling, which has been rescheduled from its initial weekend, which should have been 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Hurricane Force Winds, to April 4th and 6th, and registration has been reopened. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you go in and register. This is a great activity for your wolves, your bears, and your weebelows. It is Bend the Elements, which is an avatar theme. So you get to do some earth bending, water bending, air bending, and fire bending. Next, we have the Spring Family Camp happening on April 25th to the 27th at Camp Rainey Mountain. This is open to Cub Scouts of all ages and Scouts BSA if you wanted to, if you had an older sibling. And this is where you get to have a lot of fun doing all of the normal camp things, shooting sports, handicraft, arts and crafts, and whatever else you want to name it, you can do it at navigating your own way for Spring Family Camp. All right, now here's a cool one. Georgia Scout Show happening May 3rd at University of North Georgia, Gainesville campus. This is cool because troops get to camp overnight on campus, and they get to have some fun with a Friday night movie, as well as popcorn and concessions. And we have the opportunity to do some pretty cool stuff thanks to the new location. Fishing being one of those. They do have a lake on site that is kept stocked. So we'll have our own episode on that in the future, as well as to highlight Council Pinewood Derby happening at Scout Show on May 3rd. Please, 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 PAX, as you're doing your races, make sure you pass out your forms for your district race. That way, one of your scouts may end up at the council race on May 3rd at Scout Show. So make sure you get that form out. All right, now on to some Scouts BSA things. We have the Eagle Banquet for the class of 2024 happening April 26th at Gainesville First Baptist. This is when we get to honor and recognize all of the Eagles who have earned the rank throughout 2024. This is just a great time to be able to get to know those scouts that have earned the pinnacle of the rank, also to support them. So if you're interested, go check out that QR code, go check out the link, come out to the banquet, talk with those Eagles, and get some energy out of that. All right, let's go on to the next. We have the 90th anniversary collection patch. Make sure you're doing your pre-order. Make sure you're getting your hands on this once in a lifetime patch for the Northeast Georgia Council. This is a really cool one to honor our history, both in Georgia, but also as a council. All right, now into our training section, brought to you by our training committee. First, we have Basic Adult Leader Outdoor Orientation happening for all Cub Scouts. We have so many courses across this year. Please check out the QR code. One of those courses actually just happened this weekend. So if you're interested and you want to learn more, we can get you hooked up with some folks to give you to let you know what's going on. Also, what happened this weekend and happening throughout the rest of this year is Introduction to Outdoor Leadership Skills, or IOLS. This is for our Scouts BSA leaders, Scoutmasters, Assistant Scoutmasters, or really anyone who wants to learn Trail to First Class. This is a great opportunity to get to learn those skills, get to see what your scouts get to do in their first couple of years in scouting, and really just to help sharpen your skills a little more. So make sure you go check out that QR code. Next, we have National Youth Leadership Training, or NYLT. We have 2 different weeks, one in May at the end and then one at the beginning of June. These courses are filling up fast. We are over halfway full. We're actually probably about 3/4 of the way full now. So please, please, please make sure you go online, register for it. Right now, you just got to do a deposit, but that will secure your spot for this course. So make sure you go online and do that. We are, like I said, running out of space quickly. And what National Youth Leadership Training is the pinnacle of training for youth to be able to learn and digest leadership skills. So make sure you sign them up for that. Next up is the last part of training. We have Woodbadge. Let me tell you, this is not the last training. This really should be one of the first that you do as an adult. You have to attend both weekends. The first one happening towards the end of April, first one mid-May. You have to do both weekends to be able to qualify fully for Woodbadge and as a Woodbadge trained person. And what it is the pinnacle of training for the adults. This is where you get to learn team building skills and things that really speak towards the civilian life as well as the scouting life. You get to take that away. So make sure you follow that QR code. All right, next section brought to you by our sports teams. First, we have Scout Night at the Gwinnett Stripers. Our first night is happening May 30th at Coolray Field. That is a Friday night game. So what that means is that you get to talk with Chopper, you get to have fireworks at the end of the game, and you get to walk the warm-up track. So make sure you get signed up for that. Tickets are through FIVO. You can find them through our council website. And make sure when you do sign up, you put in your calendar that you should arrive about 45 minutes early, if not a little bit before. That way you can walk the track. That's a lot of fun. All right, our next team, the Gladiators. This is going to be our retro gaming night, so get your game on with Pac-Man and Galaga and go have some fun watching some good hockey. The Gladiators are a lot of fun. That is a high-energy stadium and just a great time for everyone. Go online, get your tickets. You're going to have a lot of fun there. All right, now, Summer of Cub Fun. This one I love a lot. So this is where you get to do three very distinct programs throughout this summer. First is the Invention Convention, or day camps for Cub Scouts. You have day camps, twilight camps, and STEM camps, depending on your area. Multiple offerings for each district. So make sure you go online, follow that link for Summer of Cub Fun to find out about each and every one of them. The next one is the Scoutland Summer Quest, which brings 6 different activities this year with Treasure Cove, Trailblazers, Fish Camp, Bug Crawl, Pond Life, and Rocket Academy. I did not think I'd get through all 6 of those in one breath. You get to do a lot of different things at Scoutland throughout the summer. Each of these are about a day worth of activity, and great opportunity to be able to have some fun, get out of the house, and get dirty while you're up at Scoutland. All right. Last part on this one, though, is Cub Summer Splash. Sorry, having some technical difficulties. There we go. Cub Summer Splash at Camp Rainey Mountain. This is a 4-day, 3 nights. You get to have a blast at Camp Rainey Mountain, brought to you by the Camp Rainey Mountain summer staff. Highly motivated, truly dedicated. You get to have a lot of fun there. Aquatics is definitely a large portion of the programming, but you get to do other fun things that you only get to do at summer camp. Handicraft, shooting sports, all of that. So you get to have a lot of fun there. All right. This next section is brought to you by Order of the Arrow, MOWOGO Lodge. Camps would not be the same without these dedicated volunteers and youth, which Order of the Arrow is run by the youth. So if you see a youth with a lodge flap or with a sash on, there we go, make sure you say, hey, I want to go learn more about Order of the Arrow, and they will definitely fill you in. All right, so first of the Scouts BSA programming, Pathfinders. This is a 2-week, single-day activity where you get to have your Scouts learn a variety of different merit badges. You get to have a lot of fun doing things like aquatics, shooting sports, a multitude of different crafts, as well as Eagle merit badges, which includes cooking. All right, that's a good one. So make sure you go online, check out Scoutland's Pathfinder, and you get to have, like I said, a lot of different merit badges through that. So make sure you check it out, get signed up. Space is limited. And the important part, Pathfinders is brought to you by volunteers teaching those merit badges. So we need you, and we want you to join staff. Check out that QR code. I'll give you a second to scan it, because this is a great opportunity to connect with Scouts from across Northeast Georgia and the rest of the region. We have Scouts that come down from Tennessee, come over from Alabama, and come over from Carolina. So make sure you go check that out. That way you can share some of your hobbies, some of your interests with some Scouts that you wouldn't normally get to see. All right, cool. Summer camp, Camp Rainey Mountain. This is a great summer to go check out CRM, because let me tell you, we have opened up a whole new area called the trade skills. I want to call it dirty jobs, but you get to have a lot of fun there. Welding, plumbing, electrical, auto mechanics, and farm mechanics. So this is a great new area to be able to get your hands dirty, quite literally, and get to test out some new skills. And who knows, maybe a trade will come out of this for one of your Scouts. And what's important, if your troop is going to summer camp already and you can't make it, or you want to have a second weekend, come join our summer squad at Camp Rainey Mountain. Registration is open, and this is our single Scout provisional unit, there we go, where you get to do some pretty cool stuff at CRM as a normal camper, but you don't have to necessarily go with your troop. Like I said, if you want to go for a second week, or if you can't go the week your troop is going, this is the way to do it. Join the summer squad, have some fun, and be up at CRM. All right, now is the fun part. We're going to talk about our tips, tricks, and best practices for spring family camping, whether that's spring fling or the spring family camp at CRM. The first and foremost, most important, is register early. Make sure you, parents, register with your pack, and that your pack registers early, because space is limited. They book CRM for spring family every single year, and it is fully booked. There is very little extra room. There are no walk-ups most years, so make sure you register early. Earlier is always better. Second, make sure you use the packing list. So CRM for Spring Family Camp and Scoutland for Spring Fling have their own suggested packing lists. I'm going to give you a second to scan this because these are what's going to help you organize yourself before you go into what is a great weekend of activities. Now, the next part, what's important about these packing lists is that they have suggested group lists as well. What that means is that you, parents and families, make sure you talk to each other within your pack if you have more families than just yours going. That way you can pool your resources because no one wants to be going and cooking every single meal while you're there that weekend. Share the burden. This is the best thing I can tell you is communicate with the other families. That way one family takes up one meal instead of all the families cooking every meal. This also goes towards equipment. If you have multiple pop-ups, easy up tents going up, you won't have enough room within your campsite. So make sure you communicate with one another. Only bring up a couple because that's how much room you'll get. And that also goes for things like stoves, extra charcoal equipment, tables, Dutch ovens. You want to make sure that not everyone in your group shows up at the same time with the same stuff because then you'll run out of room in your campsite. The other part about talking to each other is making sure that you split up the duties for other aspects. You know, every once in a while you may be asked to help clean a bathroom. You want to pool your resources and work with others on that. All right. Last part is make sure you're there together. You communicate together, you have fun together, and you do your activities together. If you work together, it makes it easier for everyone. So make sure you share that burden, work together, arrive together. Arrive together because that makes check-in a lot easier too. You can throw all your gear into one car and then it's all of you unloading that one car rather than 8 cars coming up and you inevitably end up setting your tent up at 11 o'clock at night if that happens. So make sure you arrive together, bring your gear together. All right. So that's it for our mini episode. Make sure you check us out for our next mini episode and our live stream happening April 13th at 7 p.m. Yep, new time, 7 p.m. For our 12 points live stream with Daniel, Phil, and myself. And for me, Alex, this is all for today. Thank you for watching in, and we'll see you at camp. All right. And if you like this, please like and subscribe and check out some of our other videos.